Being recorded.
That's good. We've been getting recorded.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we'll begin with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we call to order Marion County Commission meeting, March 28th, 2022. First item would be public forum. Do we have any public comments? Second call, any public comments? There's no one in the room, so
No comments online.
if we have no comments, we will move on to agenda approval. We will do a short executive session for personnel performance and administrative here in the next few minutes. If there's nothing else, we'll move forward with the agenda and into administrative items. And Tina, where would you like to start?
Okay.
Volume up, please.
All right. Well, I'll just do a quick check of the microphone, but it is on. Test. Test. Okay, it is working. So just please be mindful and speak into your microphones. Okay. Sorry. Okay, in your packet, you did have some information about severed minerals, and so also in your mail folder there, Susan mentioned the severed mineral parcels that are in the tax sale, and let's see, I took a copy out of that. Let me see if I can find it. She said there are 9 severed mineral parcels that qualify for the tax sale, total of $1,855.72. The average base tax amount is only $22, basically. The rest of it's all fees and delinquent, okay? And then what is in your packet is the total amount of severed mineral tax generated in the whole county. And it's only, this last November and billed was only $5,546.95. So the amount of severed mineral tax that the county receives is very small, and the process and the tracking of that is pretty labor intensive. And so might just let you know again that this might be a good time to consider doing away with the severed mineral tax.
And what would be the process?
That is a legal process that you will have to have Brad.
Okay.
But it is up to the county commission.
Okay.
It's probably by resolution would be my guess.
Okay, I'll just ask the commission, would you be interested in having Brad research and make a proposal or presentation about ending the severed tax, mineral tax? One, or speak, yes.
I just trying to think of anything that it might affect, Tina. I don't know what all it might affect besides just us collecting money. That would be my only other concern, and I don't know of any. If it's not collected, it's not collected. I mean,
Right.
These taxes here.
Right.
So.
Does that put a cloud on title as far as selling?
If there's yes, if somebody has deeded off the mineral rights and it's severed from the parcel, yes, there
Then
is.
it would show up on the title work.
Yes, yes, so, if the county does not, so they could still sever the mineral rights regardless of whether we tax the severed mineral or not. And severed mineral tax is only on non-producing.
Right.
The other taxation is on producing wells regardless of whether they're severed or not.
Perfect timing, Brad. We were talking, we're talking about the severed mineral tax
Yes.
process, and Tina was explaining the very little amount of tax dollars that are generated, the complications with the non-payment, the process for, well, the implications, what's the impact, what do we need to consider, what's the process? Is this something that I'm trying to gauge interest from the commission if this would be a future agenda item?
Yeah, I think we raised that a year ago.
Yeah, but I just had information in the packet about the amount
Yes.
of tax it generates is $5,546.95.
And given the complication in terms of enforcement, if you look at it as a cost-benefit analysis, it's probably, I don't want to say that every dollar doesn't count, but I think the amount of administrative time usually spent on those in these settings, it would suggest to me that it might be worth looking at.
Okay. Would that be agreeable if we at least explore and find out the implications, the impacts?
Do you have 10 or 20 hours of bookkeeping involved in this each year?
I would say yes,
So it's just losing money.
easily, yeah.
But if you do away with the severed mineral tax, to get that severed mineral turned back to either a landowner that owns the piece of property or whatever, then that takes that card completely away, right? So as it stands right now, if it hits this tax sale, then the landowner could go buy the severed mineral right back to the piece of property, right?
Yes, yes.
I don't know that it's actually buying it back, it's some legal work.
Yeah, I mean,
To get it attached.
It's probably a misnomer to call it buying it back, but yeah, there are some ways for you to do that because of the separated nature of it, yeah.
But then their avenue to get severed minerals put back with the piece of property would be a lot more impossible if it didn't hit the tax sale.
Well, no, not all.
No, I shouldn't say a lot more possible.
It's just a different approach in terms of how you do it. I would require that where I'm pausing is because people who aren't astute and haven't checked that may not necessarily recognize that it is severed. If they do, I've had them call, and that's something we take care of in advance. You make those arrangements so that if you are going to purchase back or you're going to do something like that, that you make sure you've made arrangements for those rights to go with it. It's a separate transaction. It does take some extra steps, but I don't think it's any more complex than dealing with the severed mineral right from our perspective on a regular basis for taxation purposes.
But just from an administrative point of view, it probably makes some sense to look at doing away with that.
Agenda item?
Yes, future agenda item, again, to explore the implications, the pros, the cons, the different processes, at least explore. Okay, Tina, I know you have to leave at 1:30, and we have about 5 minutes left to do admin. Would you like to do your executive session?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, I move that we recess an executive session in order to discuss personnel performance pursuant to KSA 75-4319B for item 1, personnel matters of non-elected personnel performance with the commission, Brad, Tina, for 5 minutes, beginning at 12:40, going to 12:45.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. We'll be back in 5 minutes, 12:45. Ashley's gonna have a work cut out for her.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we are out of executive session. We do have an action to take, and I would move that we approve interim pay for Larry Starkey for duties performed as sheriff from February 16th to March 7th.
Second.
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner Becker. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. 5-0. At this point, it's 12:45. We'll move into Josh's report, and then maybe we'll get back to administrative. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome, thank you. Last week we talked about the pump for a sprayer, and you asked me to do a couple. I called them to get a couple quotes on it, you know. It's a lot higher than I thought too. We'd have to do a lot of replumbing and rewiring, and other few things to be able to add that into our truck. Is kind of the way they discussed it to me, told me about it. You know, I really foresee if we stick with just updating some of the plumbing and the motor, and we're going with a bigger motor, you know, it's not gonna work as hard, that'll last us a lot longer than the motor we have now. You know, I feel that's right now is gonna be our better deal in the end.
I'll make a motion to approve Josh's recommendation, sticking with the original quotation of updating what we already have.
And that would, the amount would be,
$5,774.69.
okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Garing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Dalkey. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Thank you, Josh.
Motion carried 5-0. Thank you, Josh.
All right.
We appreciate the extra time and effort to
No
get that
problem.
information.
That's no problem.
Flying in the dark.
Something different to do, so yeah.
Yes.
So, all right.
Now we know, and it's a good plan you've got.
All right, thank you.
Very good. Okay, we'll move back to administrative items.
Okay, of the minutes of March 21st.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion approved by Commissioner Garing. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Crowfoot. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay, then I have change orders. Take that.
Still new.
I'm trying to do two things at once. I got two green folders.
What's next?
Okay, next I have prepared the draft memo to solicit bids for lease purchase financing and for the 2 used motor graders, but I wasn't sure how many years you wanted that to be. I prepared it with 4 years.
That was the talk. I don't know if we ever came to consensus.
That sounds great.
Okay, so I'll be sending that out, if you're good with the 4 years, I'll be sending that out this afternoon. or Monday, or tomorrow, excuse me, tomorrow morning, if I need to do it tomorrow morning. And then I've got the bids due April 8th, and then the potential closing date of the April 18th, so. It'd be due Friday at noon, review the next Monday, and then potential closing date on the 18th, so.
Very good.
Okay. Received an official notice from the Marion County Attorney that Laura VR will be covering the office from Friday at 5 p.m. on March 25th till Monday, April 4th, to cover vacation, I believe.
Okay.
So I just want to let you know. We have the board order to approve the, to direct Kelly Law Office to initiate tax foreclosure proceedings upon the property subject to delinquent property tax liens. So we would need action on that.
I know we signed something with Kelly Law before. but-
That was their agreement.
Agreement, so this is the actual board
Just wanted to
order.
make sure I cleared that,
Right.
distinguish the difference. Authorize the chairman to sign.
So we'll have a tax sale this year then?
Well, it starts the process and it'll be, hopefully it'll be this year.
Probably closed.
And that would be board order 2022-1. Is the first
Yeah,
one?
we'll say that.
Okay.
One.
An order of the county commissioners of Marion County to initiate tax foreclosure proceedings upon the property subject to delinquent property tax liens. So do we have a motion to proceed with that board order? Motion by Commissioner Becker. Is there a
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gary. Further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. We are moving forward.
Okay. Just letting you know, we have checked into an additional piece of furniture that matches this desk to go there. The cost of that piece is
real.
$404.98, and it would take 5 to 6 weeks.
I make a motion, we do it.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Dalkey, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Gary, all in favor say, or any discussion?
What size is it?
It's 24 inches by 48 inches.
It's this one.
So be the narrower, like what you
Shorter.
have there, and about the same
Okay.
width of what we have, length
This
of what we
is-
have there.
This is 6 foot, so this would be right here.
It actually is about the size of that plus the tray.
Just taller.
Is that a quote from one of our regular suppliers?
It's the same supplier that provided this furniture.
Okay, any other discussion?
That might match.
If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. 5-0. We'll make it much more comfortable.
This is for, excuse me, it's Office Plus. Kevin Pancratz is the person.
Thank you.
Okay. Great. We will get that ordered.
Successful day. All we want to do today is
We need a podium over there too.
That's your bureaucracy.
Okay, I have given you on the table there an email here from, basically, there are 2 motions that need approval or, for the ARP funding.
Okay.
One of them is to opt in early to the Treasury's final rule.
Okay,
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner, not even gonna let you finish explaining. Motion by Commissioner Commissioner Gehring for Marion County to opt in early to Treasury's final rule for American Rescue Plan funding. Motion by Commissioner Gehring, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Crufit, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay, and then the second motion would be to elect the standard allowance for revenue loss.
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Gehring for Marion County to elect the standard allowance for revenue loss for the American Rescue Plan funding /SLFRF. We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
What's that
by-
stand for?
American Rescue Plan Act
Yeah.
and I don't remember the other.
I didn't know what those last parts
So,
were.
State and local
Fun,
something.
state and local funding.
rescue funding.
Rescue funding.
I will have to look that up. I'm sorry, I don't have that.
We're guessing, but it's something like
But we know the
that.
goal we're after. We have a second by Commissioner Dahlke, and we have a motion and a second. Further discussion while Jonah types in Google to find out what the initials stand
Oh
for.
my goodness.
If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0. And now we'll get those.
State and local physical recovery funds.
Okay.
We're kind of in the
Fiscal,
ballpark.
probably, fiscal recovery, I bet.
Physical.
Fiscal.
Yeah.
Fiscal.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Sorry.
thank you. Okay, you had asked for additional information on, budget for if we increase the county contribution of single policies. I just gave you 95%, I
Yes.
didn't do 100%.
Okay. The 95% does fall under our budget. Correct?
Yes. And so that information, that costing information was in your packets.
Yes. So commissioners have any questions on those numbers?
So, let's see, what, just take a single then, what's the bottom price, or the total whole price, and what do we,
Okay, so we have the three options, like if you look at option 2, which is the mid-level deductible of $1,000, the coverage costs $774.63. If the county paid, oh, that's not right. Oh, that was the previous, excuse me. The cost of the policy is $866.57. And the amount that the employee would pay if you go with this option would be, oh, I put the amount that, excuse me. Okay, yeah, so I didn't, I've got that on a different page. So that's the amount the county would pay, would be $866.57. The cost of the policy, goodness sakes. I didn't bring my papers in here either. I thought I gave you the wage sheets. Let me bring that back in here in a little bit.
okay.
So the-
'Cause I'm confusing
the first-
myself.
Yeah, the first page appears to be what we approved last week.
Right.
Okay. Which shows the county contribution difference is $57.
Right, so we'd add another $40 on the county's part, basically.
Okay, on each single
On
policy.
each single for
Yeah.
option 2, because it would go up to 91, 94 increase of,
Per month.
right. But I intended to give you additional pages that showed what the, oh, here, that's it. I did give it to you, it just wasn't cooperating. So, the actual cost of the single coverage is $912.18 for option 2. The county paid portion would be the $866.57 at 95%. And then the employees paid portion would be $45.61. And that's just for the middle option. That's what we usually start with, and then the other 2 options are, you know, if they want to pay more than for the higher option, they can, or if they want the lower option.
Does
then
that
they can
include the
pay less.
10% increase for family?
Yes. It does. And the way that I figured that was based on initially with no increase, and then increasing the county's contribution by 10% from that point, so.
Okay, so,
And we've already approved the life insurance.
Right.
And we've approved the family.
I just wanted you to see the total budget impact of all.
Right.
So I just need to know if you want to make a change to the single or go with the, just with no increase on the single.
so the single, we was paying what kind of percent before this 95?
We were paying, before they were paying 10%, and then what I prepared for you previously showed with no increase to any employee contribution.
Okay.
So we'd be increasing to 95%.
So we're
On
going from
option
10% to 5%.
Yes.
On singles.
I'd say.
Right.
Well, at this point, I think it makes sense. Everybody's getting hit by inflation big time,
Yeah. And it still fits into our budget for
and
this
it
year.
still fits in the budget.
Would that be a motion? If not, I'll make the motion that we increase the county share of single policies, the county paid portion of single policies to 95%.
For option 2.
For option 2.
Second.
Okay, second by Commissioner Becker. Further discussion.
To see 100%, but
That'd be over the budget. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a proclamation in your packet. That is something that's an agenda item that you can decide if you want to do when they're
Okay.
here.
it's hidden in the middle of all the damn.
Yeah, I moved it, sorry about that. I didn't intend to send it in that spot. You passed the test also.
I told her it was a test, make sure we read everything.
Yeah, I know. I saw it earlier, and I was like, what in the heck has this got to do with the dam?
Put little surprises in.
Easter eggs.
So the only other thing that I have is two questions.
Okay.
One is for when do you want to do the department budget presentations? We usually do a Monday and a Tuesday, or we have in the past. The last year, we did them June 14th and 15th. We need to do them as early as we can, so I would prefer if you even do it a little bit earlier than that. And then, because we need to then schedule Scott in after, and I don't know what his availability is yet.
Would it help
so.
to move them up by a week or 2
What do you
weeks?
say, we're doing June 14th and 15th, what do you say?
Yeah, that was really, we need to have our budget for,
We were
by
pushing-
July 1, we need to
We
know.
were pushing it last year.
So that's really too late now, so we,
End of May.
Yeah, May 30th, 31st.
that would be great.
You're here for a payday meeting anyway, and then
There you go.
you just gotta come back.
We're closed on,
Monday.
for Memorial Day on Monday,
Oh.
the 30th.
31st is a payday.
How about
Yeah.
31st and the 1st?
That'd be a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay. What is the commission?
31st and 1st.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be a Tuesday, Wednesday.
That agreeable? Going once? Going twice? We'll shoot for May 31st and June 1st.
Okay. And then just a quick question, maybe not quick.
Yeah.
But on the premium pay, when I was meeting with the consultants, it came up about whether the board wants to divide that into 2 payments. They're recommending the time frame for the premium pay to be for the year of 2021, because we have really good records to substantiate. It falls within the time frame allowed. They didn't know if you wanted any additional time periods to be considered, or just that 1 year, and then they wanted to know if you wanted to divide it into 2 payments. So do one, like base the amount on the people that work during that time frame, pay the first payment as soon as we can, and then maybe pay the next payment at the end of the year or in January.
Is there a good reason for that?
Just another,
Defer.
I think that it was just another, there's two reasons you might want to defer. One is additional incentive for employees to continue working. The second one would be an incentive, it would be the budget year. If you did it in January, it was still, you divide that into 2 budget years, which helps you
Oh,
for
I see,
single
yeah,
audit for
right,
federal
right,
government.
right.
But I don't know, I feel like that's a long time to wait.
How about tax implication for the employee?
That also, there would be some tax implications for the current year, and then if you delayed to the next year, it would go on the next year.
So
But at
what
the same
happened-
time, it's a long time to wait, so.
What happened in 2020?
2020, we would have to choose the dates that it would go into, and some people were working from home for part of that time, so it just gets a lot more complex.
It doesn't count?
It can count if the board wants to. That's not the recommendation of the consultant. But that's all up to you,
Yeah,
Stick with the consultant recommendation. That's it. But you kind of spearheaded premium pay, so what you thinking?
I kind of rely on, I rely on the consultant and on Tina and our department heads.
So was that actually a recommendation or an option?
The recommendation was to do the year 2021, because it's easy to
I
define.
mean, you talk about the payments.
That's a question for you,
That's
it's
okay.
options, they want to know what you want.
They didn't provide a recommendation for that.
Right.
You know, I would think people working from home should get.
That's
more
part,
than-
they can't, under this, it's excluded specifically.
Because they-
So that is a disadvantage to using 2020.
Right.
I think I'd rather get it into the employee's pocket.
As quick as
Everybody's
possible.
getting hit so hard,
Right.
you know, and if,
Make your tax refund better a year from now.
No, it'll hurt 'em. No, they're gonna get, in a year from now, they're gonna get no
Some-
taxes taken out.
Some
They're
people
gonna-
don't have any
Well,
excess income.
we would tax based on
Oh, okay.
what,
Yeah,
how their
yeah, it would be
taxation is set up
withholding
for their payroll
it
regularly.
shouldn't affect.
Okay. Take the temperature on using the year 2021 from January 1 to December 31st. We've got
2021?
Yeah, just 2021.
That's-
Okay, we've got
Okay.
temperature to go using January 1, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. How
And
about-
it would actually be probably based on our pay period, which starts
Oh,
on
okay.
December 21st.
Okay, very good, based on the pay period.
Right.
Thank you. The second question on 1 versus 2 payments. 1 payment? 1, 2, 2 payments? 2?
You're the tiebreaker.
I told you spearheaded it, you should have just made up your mind. And I'm the one that said I wanted, 2 years is better, but I agree completely with Kent, so I'm gonna go with Kent. Am I gonna get a lot of opposition on that? No one's gonna run me out. And I do feel that the employees have been very patient and waiting. We need to get, what they're struggling with, inflation, we need to get it to them as soon as we can. So, 1 payment.
Okay.
There's some companies that's not even considering paying anything. So,
But we need to take care of our employees.
yeah, I'm just saying that
And
there's.
it's just.
Gas
the
company not
employees
paying
add-
anything.
No.
No.
That's what you said.
Right, it would be
That's
on
what
the
I'm saying,
employees
they-
that were employed during that time.
And that are still.
And that are still
They never
employed.
even mentioned it.
So if they've left since
Give an
then.
extra pay.
They won't receive it.
Right.
That's cool.
And I guess I
That's
would
cool.
ask if you could work with some department heads as you work through the process.
Sure.
Involve them in some of the discussions. Because there's some unique twists in some departments. Okay, anything else administrative? What you did do. All right. Isaac?
Well, there's this, that I guess.
Oh, there's one.
Brad can give us your- Sorry, Isaac, we're catching up on
Hey,
some stuff.
that is okay.
But I think we made some decisions that'll be good moving forward. So what have you got for us today?
Okay, so I have a couple things. The main thing is, I got the report back from Brian Severn with Sustainable Environmental Consultants in regards to the dam. So there's a lot to this. It's 32 pages. Pretty much their plan is Brian has written up the entire, they sent in their original reconstruction plans to DWR. It was approved. So with that approval, that was mainly to make sure that they weren't gonna have to make any major changes, get the dam up to modern code or do anything like that. That was approved by DWR. Next here, this will be the next step. So this is exactly what they're going to do, where they're gonna do it, what material is gonna be used, everything like that. Brian said this is just kind of like a courtesy. He wants to send it to you guys, make sure you guys don't have any questions, concerns, anything like that. If the commission wants to approve this, his next step will be to send this document into DWR for approval. Pretty much, he told me on the phone this morning, if everything goes flawlessly, it'll probably be a month minimum before the state can review it and approve it. He said maybe could be up to like 2 to 3 months. But once this is done, and if they approve everything, sign off on it, after that, the next step will be getting bids to do the work.
So the timeline for work would be
He said,
not your busy time?
he said realistically, he thinks if everything goes very well, the state approves everything, they don't have to change any of this. Once the bidding process starts, he said we could expect construction to probably begin late summer, absolute earliest. He said realistically, maybe early mid-fall. And so hopefully, because he's still talking to him, they're still not 100% sure construction-wise if they're gonna have to try to work above the dam or if they're gonna be able to get on that first little brim area and work from that brim area. Because if they have to get on top of the dam,
Yeah,
it might be shut down for a while. But it doesn't sound like it's gonna be taking place during the height of our season by any means. So, and that's gonna be something he said is gonna have to be discussed with the contractor and all of that as far as how they're gonna go about doing it.
Make a motion to proceed with sustainable.
I will say, Tina, if you can pull that up and go to really it'd be like the third picture. Yeah, right there. So this is pretty much the overview of what is going to be done. So the 7 dark spots on this would be the bottom corner would be south, that would be north. The 7 dark spots there would be the slide repairs, which they're gonna have to go in and fix on the 2 corner area. Well, and it has it there, the diversion culvert repair. There's gonna be 2 of those, both on the east and west side of the dam. And then they're gonna have to redo the diversion berm to the appropriate angle.
That's that center line through there?
Yeah, that'd be like the solid white line.
Solid white area.
Yeah, right there just to the bottom of the dark rock area.
And that's what they're hoping to work off of to do the rest of it.
Yes, he's hoping that maybe they can cut into the side of the dam there.
Yeah.
They might have to a little bit and try to make almost like a roadway out of
Right.
that and
Right.
work from down there instead of having to work from above, because his concern about working from above is 1, closing the dam down, and 2, are those pillars. Trying to work around those pillars, yeah, without having to knock them.
You could knock one of those down, guaranteed.
But yeah, he said, as long as the commission doesn't have any concerns or issues or questions on it, then he will go ahead and send it off to the state, and we'll be kind of in a waiting game, waiting to hear back from them.
How does the commission feel if we just give them permission at any time they get there to shut that road down? I'm just asking because it'll makes the traffic go clear around the other end is all it'll do, but I mean, we want the work done, why?
Because you keep the tourists from looking over the edge to see what's going on, which would be a safety.
But they're not gonna know until we get a contractor out there.
Yeah, correct.
So I mean, I think it's something to be thinking about.
Yeah, we've got time to make that call, but it is a
I don't
good
see any
point.
problems with it.
So Isaac, in reviewing the documents, you're satisfied with the work they've done and the plan they presented?
I really am. Talking to Brian, we talked about the possibility of redoing the whole top side there, but with the 7 slides and everything that he's got pointed out here, I mean, it seems like everything that we're having issues with, it's covered. Yeah, and they're gonna be doing work on it. So honestly, after going through this, there's nothing of major concern. There's a lot of the stuff towards the back that kind of engineering talk that
Was the total days 20 days or 30 days
for
construction, construction, whatever to do here? Is that what a time frame was? Or did they give you a time?
I don't have a time frame for that. As far as the time frame goes, the only thing that I pretty much have is that, which it's kind of like he said, it's going to depend on the state on their approval on this, is up to the construction beginning point.
Yeah.
As far as once they start, what we're looking at as far as a time frame for them to get started and to completion, I don't know that yet.
Oh, okay. Somewhere I was thinking it was 20, 30 days.
I know what he told me is once the state approves this, that normally they will give them you're gonna have 1 year from the day that this is approved to the day it has to be finished. And so that will give us a lot better of idea. He said sometimes it's 2 years, it depends on the project and what the state feels is,
That changes my mind on long we shut the road down.
Yeah.
He said like 30 days is what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, it'd be during
It's not that
construction.
far around.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for Isaac? If not, Commissioner Goering has a motion on the floor to accept the plan provided by Sustainable Environmental Consultants. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Dalkey. Any other questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay. The last thing I really have of concern is, we still have those 2 campers in that storage area, and the demand for the space is there. And these 2, I mean, they haven't paid since like 2015.
Throw them on a tax sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Including
I don't know, I would
put them on
absolutely
land bank
love to
property.
get them out of there.
A purple wave.
Mr.
Well,
Brad,
I don't know.
Mr. Brad, can we handle that?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get this off there. You give him
Is that a
directions what he's
directive?
supposed to do.
I think that's a directive.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard the directive was not lawyer either, it was hook your pickup truck to it.
Yeah.
That way it's not related to the county. They got stole.
We have last known address for the owners of those, right?
Yes, I have last known address and contact, and I've gone through
Yeah,
both
I
routes.
knew you had.
We
And
went
then-
through the newspaper, and
Are they currently tagged or even have a tag on them that's even expired?
one of them has a tag on it that is, I think it expired 2015, and the other one does not have anything on it.
Nothing at all.
Yank him out.
They got serial numbers.
Yeah.
You hire a private investigator.
Yep, don't even have to do that.
Oh, really?
We'll go ahead and send certified that we'll come back.
Okay.
And we'll basically take custody of both of them. We have a place to park them.
I do.
Yep.
I mean,
Basically, we're a fiduciary for a little while, so we have to put them somewhere where they're not just gonna get completely torn up.
Okay.
But, you know, if you've got a fenced area or anything,
6
ideally,
weeks or
but
6 months.
no, it won't even be that long. I mean, I'll basically go ahead and run them through a forfeiture.
What is their bill and how much back?
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
I'll do it as a forfeiture.
Okay, because yeah, it's got to be more than the word.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I want interest on that. I want.
Is that a directive?
That's another
Yes.
directive.
Isaac,
Yeah.
behind the ambulance building is
I think
a
you just
fenced
get
in
an
area
ambulance.
up here.
Where?
Behind the ambulance building. Yeah.
Out on the highway here.
They got a fenced in area. If you could drag them that far.
You tried recently to contact them again, didn't you? Because I remember last time we talked. Okay.
I've honestly, both of them, I've probably tried 8 to 10 times. by
Did the-
both
did the
phone
letters
and
come
mail.
back?
No.
Okay,
No.
good. Good.
Okay, make it happen.
It's kind of one of those make it so things.
Make it so.
Yeah.
Losing income.
Are they aren't local by any means, are they? The letters that you sent out? I mean, they're not within Marion County. Okay. Just,
Not anymore,
Don't
no.
want to lose a vote.
no, just want to make sure.
Thank you, Dave. I was gonna ask you the same question.
You must know the person who owns them on it.
So many campers you can't keep track of.
Does it make a difference if they're related to anybody?
No
conflicts of interest.
No conflicts of interest at all. All right, Isaac,
Would
what's
you give
next?
us your election things?
We're resuming our annual John Wayner Memorial Heated Dock Crappie Tournament. That'll be taking place here out at the lake this Saturday.
Nice.
So we will be doing that, and then kind of along the same lines there, as far as that extension goes. I talked to Jeremy here, it probably would have been first or second week of February. So they were in the middle of one big project, then he said they had one other project to finish and then they'll be out. He said, he's gonna give me a 2-week heads up before he shows up, so we have time to disconnect the gas and the electrical. He made it sound like should be maybe mid-late spring, and he said they'll be out in one day, probably in the morning, and be done by noon. So it doesn't sound like it's gonna take them all that long. We're just waiting for them to make it out to the lake. So, that should be coming here within the next couple months.
Take to get hooked back up. I'll just leave that.
And
Those electrical contractors.
Yeah, are you the hooking the electrical and gas back up?
yes,
Is there a timeline for that?
They pretty much said once we're done within, I'm gonna push more towards electrical to be, I'm hoping at come that time, we're not gonna need the gas all that much as far as an emergency goes, but they pretty much said within 2 weeks, latest. So, and they're both on standby, I've talked to both of them, and so they're just kind of waiting on the phone call for me to let them know time, specific date. But that was really all I had today, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Okay. Any questions for us?
It's quiet out the lake, huh?
Very busy weekend this weekend,
So busy.
actually.
This weekend?
Yes, it was, and we went ahead and got everything, we restocked up on stuff for the bait shop, so that's all good to go, and it was a very busy place. Saturday especially, the fishing's picking up, so, I mean, it's getting out. We went ahead and turned on the, water to the campgrounds and the trailers here. It would have been March 15th, and so we have trailer owners starting to show up, and, yeah, things are starting to pick up out there for sure.
Did you get a gauge on a pipe?
Yeah, so I think it's clustered. I don't know how many are per cluster, but I think it's 200 amp. We're
200 amp to
200 amp for the group where the meter's at. So yeah, I think we got that figured out.
Are those campers hooked up to anything? Please tell me.
No. They're just in. And the thing is with when we redid that storage area, there's like a prime spot for big campers,
Yeah.
and they're right there. And so we moved them a little bit, but they're not hooked up to anything. They're just
Okay,
they're just sitting there.
I never asked you. And
Yeah.
that'd be a
And
problem.
I think
Need air in the tires, huh?
Yeah, well, and one of them, because one of the owners originally got back to me, and it sounded like the transmission is either out of it or just completely blown, and then the other one, it doesn't sound like it's ran for the guy for like the past 2-3 years, even when he was out.
So they're not just campers, they're RVs.
Both of them are, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Trailers.
Yeah.
Now they have a real title, a motor vehicle
I was
title.
just gonna
That does
say,
make it.
that changed things just a tad.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah,
Yes.
they are.
Absolutely. Okay, good.
Why not? Are they trespassing?
No, the reason being that when they went there, we're gonna presume that they were lawfully placed. At that point, it's kind of like a holdover tenancy. It's treated a little differently, but basically it's the same kind of theory. Now, when you get to this point, however, we can exercise self-help, and we can do it on the basis, I knew you'd want to know this, you asked, on the basis of abandonment. At that point, I go ahead and make that declaration, we post it, then we pull them out of there and store them, we notice up the owners, they can either pick them up or the court will order that they are at that point potentially convertible, and we prove up that we've got more in the way of outstanding rent than their reasonable appraised value. I have to go through these steps, but that's it. There is a step-by-step process. I can get it.
My reason being is I first thought when he's talking about this was just like a pull trailer camper. is what I
Yeah,
thought
me
it was.
too.
And so, but now you've got into a motorhomes type deal. I would rather have a tow truck come take care of them. We don't have to worry about them. The bill, they tow them off as soon as you can get that permission for us to tow them off and call a tow truck and.
And that is absolutely another alternative. The first thing I do, however, when I make that phone call, to be candid, is to make sure that they're not gonna just sit there and let it tick away and suddenly you got $3,000 tied up in storage that they call us about because we're a governmental entity. Had that happened to me before.
Okay.
I prefer the ones that go, well, if they haven't, though, there are several in Wichita that are serious. If you don't pick that thing up in 10 days, they sell it no matter what they've got in it. And if there's an overage, they'll send you a check. But basically, they get rid of them quick, and they don't let it ever get to be.
We
much
got a
of a bill.
storage pen for it already.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But getting them there, Dave, and that's what I'm saying. We can either tear them up, drag them over there, or you can, you know.
Yeah, let them take custody if they will. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll check.
That's what I'm saying. It's two different projects here.
Yeah, we don't want them coming back saying, hey, we're storing your stuff, the tow company.
Yeah, that's.
We took them from county property, we can't get a hold of these people, now you're responsible for the bill.
Yeah.
So we don't want that either.
No,
So
no, we don't, but
I think it's best to just go on and.
If one will take them on the basis that, well, if they don't come get them, I'll sell them off, because I do it all the time, then I think that's, for me and the county, that's by far the slickest and simplest way to do it. But I'm not sure they're gonna wanna do that, given the age and the amount of time.
Once
it's
they look
in.
at them, they're gonna say, oh.
Yeah, well, and I think that's kind of what the owners have done. They just pretty much don't want to.
It's scrap metal.
Yeah, right.
Well, Brad will get to work on it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
The guy gives $300 for your car, you know.
All right.
That counts.
Thank you, Isaac.
Hey, absolutely, thank you guys.
What's your off days?
Mine,
Yeah.
Thursday, right now, Sunday.
Thursday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your off days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Gayla, we're ready?
You have off days.
Yeah.
Try to.
Supposed to.
Right there. There we go. Yes. Welcome. Sorry about the delay.
No, it's okay.
Should be sitting on the bench outside. not
That's
in the
okay.
hallway.
I was getting comfortable, so it's good.
Good. What do you have for us?
Okay, well, just been working on taxes.
Okay.
Have done, I think we're probably about 3/4 way through the people we've done before that have called. And we've actually done a couple taxes for people from Chase County and Marion County.
Really?
Called up, so I don't know if they just don't have access over there for somebody that's doing it free, I'm just not sure. So we've done that, and since the beginning of the year, I've done like about 11 pre-retirement sessions with people, and the newest thing is now that commodities, let's see, trying to think here. We didn't have them in February, and I thought that was the only month we weren't gonna do, and then we got them in March, and then right after the day that we delivered in March, I got an email that says we were not getting them in April. So I am not sure if it is going to change to every other month. They don't give, there's no indication from the state if that's the way it's gonna be, or if we will go back to doing it every month. But it would have been nice to have known here in March when we were giving them, so we could tell people. So, they could have, come in and that kind of thing, and so it's just,
Is that a dedicated like second Tuesday of the month or second Thursday or
it's
something like that?
the third Wednesday of the
Third.
month.
So you do have time to get some paper notification out that you know?
Yeah, we'll put it out. It's just that, some people may have thought, oh, I didn't get them this month, I don't need them this month, I'll get them
Yeah,
next
get 'em
month,
next
and
month.
now next month's not coming up, so, that kind of thing. So, we've been really busy with trips, people, lots. I think one week we had every day except one, and I think last week was about the same, so we've been really busy, transporting people.
Great.
So that's about all I have.
Well, it's very good. Those are very important services. We
Yeah.
really appreciate the work you do for our people.
Appreciate that.
That's it's needed, very much needed.
Have you got a register on your trips that you turn in? Like record of them?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't know that we've seen any for quite a while.
Well, she puts here how
Okay.
many trips we
Yeah.
do.
But where they go and stuff?
Oh, she keeps she fills out a little piece of paper that says, a lot of them that we have done are, either Newton or in county. We've maybe done a couple to Wichita, yeah, it kind of varies.
Yeah.
I can have her next time I come put where we've gone,
Yeah.
places.
10, 11 or whatever, went to Wichita for
Okay.
X purpose.
Okay, I can have her do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. All right, we're ready for Bryce.
That, rest of the Joe happened over there.
Tina.
It's kind of this.
I don't know what that means, but both of them said, we tried to sweeten them up for you. Yeah, so,
You looked at that,
I don't know what they were after, but anyway. First of all, request permission or approval of the area fuel bids. As you can expect, they're going up. Epps was red low on all three areas. MFA was the other bidder. Co-op said no bid. So
Recommendation.
that's for all three.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Marion to accept the bid from EPS. If you want to read it, since you got the sheet.
Price recommendation, low bid, EPS service at total all three areas at $22,000.
22,371.7.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
This no diesel?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. These are all three areas.
From 6 months ago, that's about, no, it's about, what, 6,000 an hour?
I think even more than that. Yeah, so I've actually kind of been thinking about what we could do to change that. Obviously, area, you know, they're speculating on fuel prices for a month. I don't know what the answer is. One thing I've looked at is, okay, do we get 1,000-gallon tank in certain places and just say, okay, area 1 is this company, area 2 is this company, area 3 is this company. When we need fuel, bring it out at that price. I'm just trying to save money. I mean, it's.
How do you secure that though?
Well, I mean, what are you really securing? I mean, it's. I can almost bet. I know from the contractor side thing that, and maybe Jonah could say the same thing. But if there's any question or any doubt as to what's going to happen, you put money in. You know, I don't know what they're speculating on the price of fuel, but I mean, the sad part about it, we're not talking about a lot of gallons either.
Yeah, well, Kent's talking about securing the gas, that's diesel, instead of being stolen, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it would be any different now. What we talked about was, you know, putting in 1,000-gallon tanks and putting them up to electricity inside the buildings. The other option is we do it a little bit now, is we have some guys getting it from actual, well, we get fuel from Tampa, from their new fuel. We get it from Hillsboro. Right now, we have the diesel tanks down at Peabody, but we could maybe go with MCC there in Peabody too. We're guaranteed, I would say guaranteed the freshest fuel there is, and we're basically gonna pay those prices that they have there. The only thing is, we just need to make sure that we can get a county price. I don't know what the difference is between the actual off-road and our county, you know, if there would be different. But anyway, that's just something to look at.
They've got off-road fuel.
They do there, yeah. But I don't know if their off-road price is the same as what we would pay.
I don't know.
And then how you keep track of that. But it's, honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen with the oil market. And, you know, transport is somewhat a little closer. The fact is they deliver it the next day. So it's pretty tough for those to vary much, but, you know.
What, in the last 2 years, what's our budget done on fuel?
Last 2 years, we've been at roughly a little over half. Our budget is $500,000 a year, and we've been pushing 250 to 300,000, but I mean, the price of fuel has been way down too. So
Wow.
This is a little bit more appropriate here to where keep spending this kind of money, it's gonna.
The reason why I asked that is because the first year that it went back in the 10, 15 years ago, whenever it went sky high, we went way over budget for
Yeah.
the year. That's why I'm asking.
Well, and that's what we're gonna have to watch. I mean, it's,
We haven't changed our fuel budget when it went low.
no.
I don't think we have.
And that's what, I mean, Jesse even told me that was quite a few years ago. They just said, okay, we're gonna go this price. We just hope we stay below that. You know, if we do go over, we can say, well, we went over, but we're gonna save somewhere else, you know, so. But I wish I knew what the answer was, but it's just.
If you knew, you wouldn't be sitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are
You'd have so much money you wouldn't know what to do with.
Are the newer maintainers more fuel efficient?
I would think they would be, but that really comes down to the fact is, just how much you're using them or what you're using them for. If you're out there really hunkering down and whatever else, you're gonna use more fuel than what you would by just, you know, going up and down the roads quickly. So it's really tough to say that, you know, X amount, but, you know, everything should be more efficient than what it was in the older ones.
Okay, so Commissioner Gearing's been very patient with his motion that was made 5
Okay,
minutes
sorry.
ago. And the commission took you off topic. Do we have a second to the approval of that bid?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay. I submitted the cost share for Kansas last week. I told you I had to up the prices a little bit based on up-to-date data. She responded back today because based on those percentages that I went with, it up the state share to 1.125.
Goes over the bill.
Yeah. She responded back and said, well, what would she do? Well, she would just change the state share to 40%, change
Okay.
our share to 60%,
Okay.
give them $1 million max.
When I saw the numbers, I thought,
Yeah.
should
Well,
have given you the flexibility to just do the bid, or
Yeah.
do the cost share, and then adjust the.
I'm really hoping that,
We're just asking the state for $1 million.
yes,
Just give it to
yeah,
us.
yeah. And I wanted
It
to
has
say-
to be.
yeah. And I really thought about
We
it,
need
just
to say thank you
saying
letter.
back to her, say, just give us $1 million. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah,
We'll put it somewhere.
Yeah, but anyway,
We'll
they,
build roads.
they did get that.
Thank
And
you.
so, yeah.
40-60.
And the other thing is that when I sent out the email, would the commission as a whole, or one of you like to visit with the city of Hillsborough to discuss what percentage or amount, whatever else? Because I mean, like I said, that first half mile coming off of 56 to the south is city property.
I guess I'd ask Commissioner Becker and Durian to go with you or work together.
Like I
If the
said,
commissioners are agreeable to do that.
Yep.
Yep.
Like I said, they really didn't commit anything at the time, but I mean, I would think they would.
Yeah, I think it
It's
would be good to
beneficial.
sit down,
Yep.
talk it over face to face.
Just
make an
Just good
appointment.
relations.
What's that?
Just make an appointment, let us
Okay.
know.
Okay. Do they,
Next.
would that be?
You free on, April 5th? I think the meetings are moved to 6:30 now.
Is that,
That'd be the city council meeting.
okay.
So we'll do it at the council. Right.
Actually, that's the KCHE meeting in El Dorado, or excuse me, Ellsworth. I don't know if we'll be back in time for that or not, but,
Yeah, the meetings were at 4:30, but I thought they were moving them to 6:30. but-
okay, well, we can find out.
Okay. If not, if
Just
we
let-
had
just
plenty
let
of
me know.
information, I suppose Ken, I could
Okay,
go.
okay.
Or
Well,
we could put you on the phone.
there you go. Well, I don't know how late the meeting's gonna run up there, it's one of those things, so I wouldn't mind being there at all, so, okay. Did you have it come up or, with a work day? Yeah.
Actually, we're working on some policies for the culverts. Brad just sent out
Okay.
some culvert issues. We'll get you looped in on that.
The part that Bryce needs, I just finished my Google civil engineering degree. So I put together a diagram for you to look at.
Really?
Working on my Spanish
Okay.
that way
You're
too.
gonna be,
Okay.
seriously, you're gonna be impressed with it.
Google,
You
I
are.
love it, Google.
And right now, it's about a 4-page policy, and I made it as flexible as I could, but I need to have him look at that.
Okay.
And to be sure it fits what he would normally want to see long, but I sent you the summary in the application, which I will also send to you, Bryce.
Okay.
And then
And that
there's
was
another.
for the culverts, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Culverts, and then several other things I got inspired. So we put it all together for some of the kind of road work that you get requested on a regular basis or it gets complained about.
Yeah.
And I found a couple of suggested sources for some of that, so I put it all into one. And hopefully this won't be overdone, but I will start with you looking at it.
Okay.
Could probably have it back, if I get it to you yet today, could have it back to the commission by Friday if anybody wants to look at it. End of the month.
Did you guys talk about the registration for that meeting in April? It's a week from tomorrow, week from Wednesday, I'm sorry, the Kansas County Highway Association.
Haven't seen
Is anybody going?
Kansas Highway Association?
Kansas County Highway Association meetings in Ellsworth.
No, I haven't seen.
We came in about a month ago, I told Tina I wanted to go, and she said, well, they're not due until March 30th, and she would take care of it.
I don't think anybody's brought it up.
Okay, anyway.
What do they need? If you could
Yep.
email it to us.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, she's like, oh, yeah. Okay, I just, they had to be in, and she said she was gonna do it as a big group. so.
Okay, because I would be interested in going.
Okay.
Back to your point about a workday, would you prefer to tackle items in commission, or would you prefer to have a block of time? How would you prefer to do it?
Whatever works for you. I think the block was probably a little bit more beneficial because other things come into commission meeting.
Okay.
and,
That's why I flipped it, and I should have flipped it to April.
That's what I thought.
Ashley,
Please.
help me. Wow. least I got a customer.
Uh-oh.
You did it. I thought I was gonna be the one to.
Yeah, I thought those walls were solid.
Would April 4th work?
Are you gonna be at that?
Is that
Next Monday.
is that too soon?
I mean, that's also our land bank meeting.
Okay, how about April 11th? That's a good point. I mean, that's
According to
what-
my schedule, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's shoot for the 11th. Does the commission, would you like to meet like at 10:30, 11? No?
Not me.
Okay, after,
Yeah.
Bryce, would that work, doing it after our commission meeting? Or at the end?
On the 11th?
Yeah, on the 11th.
So the 11th, we plan on a late meeting, and we'll just work with Tina on our agenda, and then when we
Okay.
wrap up,
Sounds good to me.
we'll start putting together agenda
Sure.
and do that on April 11th in the afternoon.
Okay. Due to the handheld radio situation, there should be one for each one of you. The current handheld radios that we're using were given to us by the sheriff's office in '05. We're getting to be pretty few of them anymore, batteries aren't good and things like that. I went out and talked to two companies, the TBS as well as KCOM, about getting new radios. Travis has some used ones as well. He doesn't know what those batteries and stuff are. So what I would like to do is to purchase 4 of them this year and then put 4 of them next year. I'd like to recommend that through the TBS, the Motorola's. Talking with the Sheriff's Department, Emergency Management, things like that, they've had great response and whatever else through that Topeka location. And so the Motorola's would be very similar to what we have now, but at least we're sure to have a new radio and new batteries. So I'd like to have permission to get 4 of them this year and for like $2,000 or whatever it was.
A piece or?
But no, that's for 4 of them.
That's for 4 of them.
Yeah.
2,000.
And that
$400
includes,
a piece.
that, and like I said, they're Motorola's, and this would all be on the UHF system. They would not be on the 800 megahertz. In order for us to get radios on the megahertz, it would be thousands and thousands of dollars. And we said we really didn't need that. These are just for our close proximity. Steve and I have the radios that do allow us to talk on the 800 megahertz, but we just thought that would muddy up the system. So like I said, we'd have those 4. That includes the remote microphone as well, and they would program them and everything. So that was extra money to the other company. So.
Questions?
These just going on work trucks, kinds of.
Well, we're getting all handhelds that way. That was the other comment. I said, don't get radios for the trucks because they're extremely expensive. And
Okay.
same situation. These handhelds, people can just take them wherever.
Take them where they need
whether-
that day.
Yeah, whether we're flagging or overlaying or chip sealing or traffic control.
True.
Whatever it is.
Portability.
Yep. So.
Wonder how long our long-range plans is to keep the old system? That's what you're gonna run on,
Well,
right?
yes. Now, actually, Travis and I talked about that because, currently we don't have much going on there, but we keep that system up just in case something does happen. We lose the 800 megahertz tower or whatever else, we could go back and drop on that system. So, but the biggest problem was the 800 megahertz was we have to pay a huge fee every year
Yeah.
for that.
To ride that wavelength.
Yeah, those radios are very expensive as well.
Oh,
So, but
I just thought we'd give the repeaters away in some towns already. I don't remember
yeah.
where we did that at. but-
Well, like I said, we really wouldn't need those with this because they would be, within a couple miles of each other and.
Okay, you're talking mobile to mobile?
Yes.
And they'll
Yep.
work for 2 miles?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That's what we're looking at because we
Okay.
really don't need any more than that. If there's something more important, now they do have cell phones, but it'd just be so much quicker with these radios. So.
Any other questions? If not, do we have a motion to proceed with Bryce's plan, TBS electronics for 4 handheld radios for $2,044.
So
I'd
moved.
make that motion.
We have a tie. I'm gonna give Commissioner Dalkey the motion and Commissioner Gearing the second, so I think we got at least 2 votes. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried, 5 votes.
We have scheduled hopefully next week to visit with the contractor about the heater scarification or recycle out here on 190th. He's gonna come out, we're gonna do some more, hopefully hands-on to determine if they think that'd be good benefit. Now, one of the things that I did come up with is I used this process before. It's just a picture, just for right now, is what they call microsurface. Microsurfacing is a residual asphalt in the neighborhood of 8%. It has aggregate in there. It also has some fibers, like fiberglass fibers with it. If they go down and they basically drag this box, you can see that screed across there is basically a box. The material is dropped in behind there, and it's like a liquid. And they go along, and basically, it's very, very good for filling in ruts, ruts and cracks.
Well, that's what it's got.
Well, that's what we're looking at now. It's still considered a seal. I mean, it's not to the point of a structural overlay, but it runs a neighborhood of 5/8 of an inch. And what they do, if there's some bad areas, they can actually go in ahead of time and fill them in, and come back the next day or even several hours later after it settles, and then go across the whole thing again.
That's what you're talking about, going across the dam? You were talking about?
No, this is 190th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's going to be better than a conventional seal, the chip seal, simply because there's more substance to it. It will help your ride. It's going to look like new pavement, but it's still going to be, that's the biggest problem. Oh, this is brand new asphalt. It's not quite to that point. Cost-wise, we're probably, according to what his budget numbers, $50,000 to $60,000 a mile. So we are going to be less than half of what we were talking about for the 2-inch heater scarification and the chip seal.
That's cheaper.
Again, it's more than our chip seal, but it's less than the overlays and that kind of process.
But if you hired the chip seal done, it would be almost that, wouldn't it?
Probably somewhere around there. I mean, and that's.
I mean, if you're talking to a total contract job,
Yeah.
you're in the ballpark of the
Yeah.
same cost.
Just
I mean, just to
a
compare
five-year
to
thing,
our.
or-
Yeah, longevity wise, he said probably 5 to 6 years. Again, that depends on what you have down there. But we've got a few structural settlements that we need to fix, and he said those are, if we go in and fix those. The other thing is that $50,000 to $60,000 is basically for one pass. You can actually go back and put a second pass right over the top of it.
Keep adding 5/8.
Well, but I mean, as far as
You have a glass surface.
yes, yeah. More than anything else, it just comes down to the ride. The more passes you make on there, the better the ride. But anyway, it's another option that is out there. So I didn't know if you guys would be interested in. I mean, Harvey County's done it. They're actually doing a big job in Wichita, one in Salina. So he said if we wanted to do it somewhere in July, they would probably be done with those. And obviously, like anything else, the hotter the better. It cures faster. And
This is stuff they put on the streets down there in Newton.
they do it all over the place. Yep.
It looked like rubber.
Well, it's and again, it's just more of the structure. But I can, and like I said, we just talked last Thursday or Friday. I can try to get some more information from those people. There's not a lot of people that do it, but it's tough to see. But that unit you have there is basically a self-propelled unit, and it has all the oils and everything in there. They hook a truck onto the front of it with the aggregates, and it brings the aggregates in. They mix it all up, and they drop it behind you. It's really pretty. I mean, very simple. An asphalt product, like you would with concrete. Just real wet concrete. You put it in a box and you drag it along and it fills up behind you. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you that's an option. I can try to get some more information.
It seems to be an interesting option. If it does what it.
Well, and I said even if we just did the one pass, 60,000 would be 900,000, somewhere around $800,000 to $900,000.
$1 million.
Yeah, compared to what we're looking at. And when we talked about doing the 2-inch heater scarification, and we're putting a chip seal back over the top of it, we're not going to gain much on top of that again, other than, you know, your cracks are going to be, well, hopefully won't come back for 2 to 3 years, and then you still have to seal it. So this, if we're getting 5 to 6 years, we basically look at the fact is we now save the chip seal. We wouldn't have to do that as well. So, but anyway, if you guys want to, just go on there, go on the internet and type in the microsurfacing. I did see there was a job one was in Kansas City. Where were the other two? It was kind of funny, one of the pictures, it must have been some sort of a demonstration product, because I bet there was 50 or 60 people out there watching it. The entire road was just covered with people. So, one of those things, but
I might be here. How about they come demonstrate here for about 9 miles?
well, yeah, and you
Give
know,
everybody a shovel.
yeah, but it's just funny, those, oh, we gotta go see this, you know, but again, I've used it before, or been around it numerous times as
Okay,
well.
you have
Yes,
had experience.
yes. And the road that we used, I used it up in Nebraska, and the road was on a real heavy truck route. It basically had wheel ruts in it.
Right.
They went through and they basically had 2 boxes, and they filled in the ruts. Then they come back with another pass over top of it. And again, it's still a maintenance thing any way you look at it, but it's another alternative. So.
But it saves that road. Again, you know, we struggle with the value of maintaining that road, but at the same time, to lose all of that base, I hate to just, if we can do things like this to prolong the longevity of it. Without spending,
And
breaking the
I
budget.
think he said they could do 4 miles a day, so within, you know, week.
That's both lanes.
I don't know if they said it was 1 lane or not, but anyway, a week we can have it.
Still moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not looking at closer.
And I will tell you that the material they use is a Baxter Springs chat, which is an extremely hard, durable material. Fact is that it actually takes a special license with the state, because that's part of that bauxite mine down there and all that other stuff. So when they stockpile it, they have to make special considerations for runoff and things like that. I mean, again, it's very, very good rock, but you have to deal with it. And they're already set up in that. So anyway, I'll find out more information.
Sounds good.
Talk to other
Bring
people.
us a couple extra loads when they come.
Couple extra loads, okay.
Just do another 20 miles.
And you know, I mean, you look at it, it says a lot that the city of Wichita and the city of Salina are using it. I mean, those are two big cities.
Looks like it cost-effective process. I mean, even compared to chip seal.
Well, and I like the sound of the material. It sounds like more of a expansion, contraction.
Yeah.
It's got,
just,
like you said, a rubber coating.
Fiberglass in it, so it's got
Yeah.
structural.
yeah, and you can actually, when you go online, they'll actually show you that the guy that came out and talked to me about it, he's actually the one holding the fiber strands in his hand. If you've ever seen like fiber mesh and concrete little bag, almost identical. You just take it apart and it's just a bunch of pieces of fiberglass.
But again, that should
Help immensely.
be
And-
interesting. to look
Yeah,
at.
and we talked to him, I said, well, maybe I'd go in the mill ahead of time, and he said, honestly, I think this product would do the job and not even have to worry about that. So then down the road, maybe that's what we look at too, we go back and mill it off, you know, like I said, but it gives us more years than, well, and honestly, conventional seal, we're past that. You know, our chip seal out here, it wouldn't do any good on that, so.
If you recycle that road in the future, this material, does it go right into the recycle or?
Everything is recyclable, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Now, the quality of the recycle, that's another story. One of the things that we were looking at before was to do the 2 inches. If we mill the 1 inch off the top, we get rid of that lesser grade material, but those are still millings that we can use. So again, we're recycling them, but they wouldn't go back into the mix.
Right.
Now, when KDOT does it, they look to, you know, they 1.5 inches or 2 inches, whatever else, trying to get that material, because it's very cost benefit to put it back in the mix, because you cut down virgin aggregates. And right now, that's what's killing everything. Price of cement is going up, not because of the price of the cement, it's the trucking cost. So everybody's facing the same thing right now, so. But,
All right.
okay. What was the issue that you were asking, you sent an email about? It wasn't heads, it was,
Highway 15? No.
I tried to get a hold of Joe about that, Joe Palick with KDOT, to see how we would go about doing that, whether we would need whether we should have a traffic study. I'd also like to find the accident history on that. KDOT should have a record of that.
Right.
Because
For the rest of the commission, it's 330th and Highway 15, just west of Tampa. There's a bad wreck there at least once a year. For whatever reason, people come from the east and just fly through that intersection.
From the east?
From the
Yeah.
east. Because you come up over that hill,
And you
there's a
don't really
farmstead right
yeah.
to the side. You
It
think
catches you.
everybody's just looking at the farmstead and they just,
Distracted.
yeah.
Coming from the east going west?
Yes.
And run that stop
yes,
sign?
every accident is somebody from the east. And the farmer lives there, says every month, he sees, when he happens to be in the yard, he'll see someone just full
Fly.
speed fly across
Do
highway.
rumble strips or something down there?
Well, that's.
Well, we're talking rumble strips. The other thing to look at is, and I don't know whether the accident history will show you
Right.
are most of it day or night.
Right.
If they're night, you're talking maybe flashing beacons.
Yeah.
Anything that could,
Yeah.
but it is, I mean, as you go over that hill, the road kind of blends in because it goes right on down the other side.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we kind of got it.
Yes. Okay.
What's that?
I was just
This
making
place
sure I
in
knew where.
location.
Okay.
Richard Levy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that sees it.
So that's one of the things when you look at the liabilities of it, you say, well, if you go out and do something, well, then a lawyer says, well, why didn't you do more? You know, but if we have it's the lawyers, you know.
They drive everything.
Oh, don't they? Jeez.
Literally.
Yeah.
You just mentioned something though,
I still like to drive.
flashing beacons. The one out here on 190 is just about to die. I mean, it don't have no,
190th.
and Nighthawk.
There hasn't been in there for a long time.
Yeah, the flasher up on the pole, on the stop sign.
There hasn't been one there in a long time.
When it was working here not too long ago.
Well, I don't know who put it up, but Jesse told me before he left, he kept putting them up and they were getting stolen.
Well, that's what I was wondering, whether they're getting stolen or not, because in the cities, they're a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great deal.
Well, and the other thing to look at is I'm thinking probably when we get the new project going there is maybe put up some solar lights, but they actually have new ones now that aren't just an on and off. It's a that way.
Yeah,
they're
they're little solar charger.
Yeah, they're little LED things. So there's numerous things to do there. But what's nice about them is if you can get them to stay out there long enough, they are very,
That's
very
what I was wondering if
good.
they're stealing them because.
Yeah. And you know, we've actually had some where, one out east of town on, I want to say Clover or somewhere over there, they're really, really good. They pull the post and everything out of the ground. They take it 2-3 miles down into Chase County and then they drop it off the side of the road. So they call us and say, come get it.
Got your sign, huh?
Yep. And they don't damage the sign whatever, so they just pull the whole thing out.
That's one issue.
I will change to another subject. I did have the magnets on the blades.
Yes.
You had some more.
I said, I think we've talked about it
We've talked
before.
in the past.
I got permission from Saline County. They actually have a big magnet. It's about an 8x8, 8 foot long, that mounts on the front assist group for these motor graders. That they just drop it down, drive along, it picks up, and when he's done, he pulls over and pulls the lever, disengages the magnet, and it drops.
Wow.
Nobody has any idea where they got it from. I don't care where you search, Cat, any of the suppliers, they have no idea.
It's that old, huh?
Yeah, well, he said that they've had it probably 25 or 30 years.
It was made.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think that would be a popular.
Well,
option
you know,
to add.
and that's what he said. The guys, he said they'll go out there, and he said sometimes once a month they'll go up and down the roads if there's a problem. But I have got some smaller magnets that I'm trying to hook up together. It's kind of a difficult situation because you want to make them strong enough, but yet you also want to make them versatile enough to be able to work. You know, I've had several people say, don't put them on the front of the machine, put them on right behind the blade.
Right.
Well, now you put them behind the blade, now you got to worry about your blades tilting and stuff like that. So you've got to, there is an optimal dimension from the ground for using them.
Yeah.
Behind the blades would be great because you should have a steady.
Yes.
But then again, you're already running your front 2 tires. You know, it's one of those things. But I've been looking for them for a year or two.
Okay.
And just nobody has. Like I said, I just happened to find this one. I I jumped for joy. I was happy going up there a day later, and I stopped in, took pictures, and he said, yeah, the guys love it. You know, so, yeah, if we could find something, but, my thought was if they allow me to continue to use it, that anytime we go out there and take that crushed concrete, we just run that across there.
What's the dimensions of that magnet?
He's,
by
the frame is like this. It's steel encased all the way around. It's about 8 foot wide, and it just mounts on. It's got the 2 hooks on the front that mount on the front assist group. These motor graders, when they go out, they just drop it down to the ground. And what's nice about that is if it gets too low or whatever else, it hits the material. It won't damage it, and then they can pick it up. The one we would have, unless we built that enclosure, might rock back and forth or whatever else too. So, but yeah, whoever come up with it, it's a great idea. But
I know where we could have it built fairly readily.
what I don't know is because it's totally encased. So I don't know what it has for magnets on the inside.
But it'd just be nice, you know, there's just nails
Yeah.
and wire,
Yep.
just regular gravel roads. I mean,
Yep.
Farmers driving, we
Well,
leave trails.
I'll talk to Swain County. Maybe they'd be interested in selling it. I mean,
Well, if there's no patent on it, get it.
Yeah, if they'd even let you take a picture.
well, I took
Yeah.
pictures. I've got plenty of pictures, but yeah.
Might be able to build
Get that
one.
thing built.
Yeah, okay, well, you two get together, and you guys work up a
You,
patent
you
on
got
it.
the inside job or something? Or?
I already got the patent.
Okay.
How about the legal patent?
Yeah, and I don't know whether we could
I'm a
cut
trademark.
the end off or something like that.
Okay, Commissioner Dawkins.
Bryce, you've sent somebody up to do a patch job up here by the Amwes building here in the patch hole.
Mhm.
A
Little rough.
little tough.
Yep.
Tell them if they can't do better than that, maybe we don't need it.
I've heard from several people and I agree with that. I asked him to come up and patch it just temporarily until it was warmer. We'd come in and mill it out and make it look nice. And
I like to even see the tires driven over them, and one time ain't enough.
yeah.
And it's just very ugly. They didn't pick up the extra stuff, and that's right here where people walk into the
Oh, yeah.
buildings and things, and
Yeah.
it needs some improvement.
Yep. I agree with you.
Thank
All
you.
right, anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate it. Krista?
I shot and beat it a couple times.
Sad.
As they told me before, I set it up for you.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
Bryce set it all up.
I don't think he sweetened you up, I'm guessing.
No, we got an uphill battle. We're gonna be grouchy today.
Oh, let's hope not. Well, I have a revised signature page for our grants. So the one that I had you sign initially had just for the fiscal year 2023, for the state fiscal year. Since there's carryover in the grants, they want the carryover too. So the amount that we're getting for fiscal year 2023 has not changed, but we had to include fiscal year carryover for 2024. So two of those grants have carryover. And so with the carryover for those COVID grants, it's $237,513.98. But what we'll actually get for state fiscal year 2023 is $167,370.62. So I have the updated page.
This needs a chairman's signature, right?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the the amended grants, what grant?
It's for all of our state
Grant.
and to local grants. So there's multiple grants in there.
The multiple grant authorization page.
All right, we have a motion, second time, we have a second by Commissioner Becker. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried, 5-0.
And then, Ashley, I don't know if you want, Tina had asked for the original applications. So here are the applications for her.
Okay.
Give it to you.
She probably needs a copy.
Oh, might want to make a copy of that.
Typically.
Keep us out of trouble.
Yeah. I always keep a paper copy here.
You want to tell us about your new employee?
Yes, Pam Holland, she started part-time last week and this week. She has to finish out some days at her current position, but she'll start full-time on Monday.
Good, cool.
So we've done some training and we're happy to have that position filled.
Great.
And then we have kind of done some revamping of our WIC program so we can meet the requirements, but still find staffing for that. And so I was wanting to go into executive session regarding that position.
Oh, okay. 5 minutes?
Is that the last item you got?
Probably, yes, that is. I don't know, probably 10 minutes
Okay.
maybe.
Personnel performance. I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss personnel performance pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, Item 1, for personnel matters of non-elected personnel performance with the commission, Ashley and Krista, for 10 minutes. We'll go in at 2:05, come out at 2:15.
Second.
And a second by Commissioner Gary. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. We'll be back at 2:15. I'm sure we did.
Kill that camera.
Sorry for it.
Jonah will explain it.
Yeah.
Jonah will explain all of that.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we're out of executive session. Open to a motion.
I'll make a motion that we create a position for WIC registered nurse, international board cert, LAC consultant, WIC admin.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I couldn't hear all the name and title.
Would you like to repeat that?
I'll give it to you in the presser.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you. I have no conversation, just, I think it's a good deal.
Krista, would you like to explain what the position is?
So the position would be WIC registered nurse, international board certified lactation consultant / WIC coordinator.
Yes, and this will be a part-time position.
It's a part-time position.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner.
I think it's somewhere around 12 hours a week.
The last part of my
Approximately.
motion was
Approximately 12.
WIC admin. I need to clarify that to be WIC coordinator.
You got that? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Goering, a second from, do we have a second? Commissioner Dahlke. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
And I'd also like to make a motion to combine two roles, WIC clerk and health assistant.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second that.
And a second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Thank you, Krista. I think those are good moves and we'll improve.
Congratulations on getting a full slate up there.
Yes. As soon as I have my WIC contract dietitian and all signed, sealed, delivered, I'll be happy.
I don't know whether you guys heard it or not, but on international news, they're talking about one of the foreign countries over there where this other stuff COVID come from, they're shutting down again.
China.
China.
Is it China?
China's locking down
half
half of one of their cities, I think.
Yeah.
So why don't we get another booster?
That's the reason why you see the oil market
You wanna talk
go
about
down.
I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay.
But as of right now, we have not received any information
Okay.
on the next step.
Okay, we're ready for Kelly Taylor.
She was up there.
Hi, Kelly. Come on in, we'll have you sit at the desk. That way the microphone.
Fancy.
Yep, gotta be for our online people so they can hear you. So appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Heather, and I'm
Oh,
with, that's okay.
Sorry.
I'm with a local community advocacy group called Safe Hope.
Okay.
And we're located in Marion, Harvey, and McPherson County.
Okay.
We have a storefront here in Marion, right beside CB Bakery. And I'm here because we are asking for you guys to sign a proclamation for April being Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I know that the proclamation you guys have is from 2021, and for that I apologize. I think that was put in your packets. We are waiting for Governor Kelly to put out the proclamation, and that won't be until March 31st. Sorry about that. So we kind of got the cart before the horse here.
Well, everything's dated 2022.
Well, on this one it's 2021.
Oh, okay, got it.
So,
That is for the month of April, right?
It is,
Yeah,
for the whole month of April, yes. And we're just an advocacy agency that serve victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking. So.
It's an important mission, and we appreciate your work.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be here. I know that we're the first agency that's actually had a home base here.
Okay,
So we're excited about that.
very good,
Yeah.
very good.
So what days are you there? Or?
We're there every day,
Oh,
Monday
yeah?
through
Oh, yeah.
Friday.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah, Monday through Friday, and 8 to 5. And
Oh, okay.
if we're not there, we're in another community serving someone or connecting with community
Yeah.
folks. COVID kind of put a damper on that, but now we're starting to get back out there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Started with a pilot program, didn't it? We did that with Newton Municipal and then with Harvey County District Court, 2017, something like that. And it was exclusively funded that way, and then it's become sufficiently
Yeah.
popular, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
that it continues to expand. So other grants have gone into place.
Yeah. I was the first full-time staff hired by the agency that wasn't a supervisor. So I've worked there for 15 years. So, yeah. And this is my home community, so I wanted to work in my home community.
Where were you working out of when you started?
Harvey County.
Harvey County.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. That was the only place we covered when I first started was Harvey County, and we just had services in our shelter. We didn't have outreach services like we do now. Yeah. So we're very blessed, and we appreciate all that the community does for us.
Good.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
Need to act on
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, well, I would move that we adopt the proclamation of April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Second.
Okay, second by Commissioner Becker. Further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Well, Heather, thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
I appreciate it.
And
You guys
again-
have a great day.
Thank you for all your
Yes.
work in our community.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate that. How was that little Easter egg? I had to go back and find it. Yep, page 22.
Yeah, tucked in between all the. Yes,
Yeah. Okay, do we have anything else on our agenda?
we need to sign.
Or should wait to give us an updated one?
Oh, that's right, we could do the update.
So we're gonna take action, so we can just sign it.
Right. Brad, did you have anything?
Interesting you would ask. Yes, I have about 7 items.
All right, nice.
Do we just
We're gonna get some stuff done
lump
today.
them into one hour?
Yeah, there will be an executive session on potential litigation that will cover 2 items, and then the others are all things I need to give you updates on, or just a quick mentions so that they stay in front of everybody.
So they're all potential.
Well,
Just 2 of them, the rest will be in open session.
Oh.
If you haven't looked, because I was still gathering stuff this morning, and I apologize for that, but I sent to each of you an email with some of these items. I wasn't aware, and I apologize for that, on January 3rd, when you had the original organizational land bank meeting, there was additional action taken for that property in Peabody that they wanted to transfer from the county to, and Tina mentioned it to me on Friday. So I grabbed the legal from the Register of Deeds. I prepared all of that. That is among your stuff. I did, it wasn't done as part of the minutes. We probably don't have to necessarily, but I wanted you to see it, the template. It's a resolution I'll always have us pass as part of the land bank, whether we sell or acquire property, and then the standard form quitclaim deed that would be authorized for Chairman Becker, as far as the land bank is concerned, to sign over from Marion County to the land bank. Then I will walk it all through the treasurer's office and everyone, so they understand what we did and how that should automatically create an ad valorem exemption. Specials are done at our request, but be that as it may, just so everybody sees what we're doing. I'm sure they've done it with the cities before, but we've not had to do one yet. So anyway, everything is there. I got the legal directly from the sheriff's deed. Looks a little strange to me, but it appears to be the one that was used at that time. I did all the exemptions from the statute put everything in place. So it can be signed based upon how the minutes were done, or since we're so close to another meeting, if you really want to have that resolution, we can pass it at that point and then do the transfer. A couple weeks are not going to really matter on that one.
Well, there was another point brought up last week. What was it? We were gonna hold off until the land bank meeting.
Yeah, I was just gonna, before we.
Well, that was the transfer.
It's on this property.
It's on this property.
Okay, okay, good.
I'm just making sure it's
We're
covered.
talking about the same
Yeah.
thing.
And I used that January 3rd date because the action was taken at that point to transfer, but I can certainly move that and just change the date on that resolution, so we'll actually formally do it at your
Okay.
next land bank meeting. Makes it easier anyway.
Because it'll be April 4th.
Right.
And we can take action at that.
Yep, yeah, an authorized signature and it'll be done.
Some other-
But everything you need is in there among that, so you can see how those will normally be done. That new accident I mentioned to you, I just this morning got most of the records from our legal counsel. I will forward all of that to you. So if there's any questions next week, let me know. It's basically in its very infancy on that accident, but just so you're aware on that. We talked briefly about the culvert policy. That's really just informational and for your review. And then, like I said, the policy itself right now is about 4 pages long. That may change a bit. And then it's got 3 diagrams to go with it. One of them literally is an engineering drawing that got on there and could use CAD, and thought, all right, see if Bryce is impressed when I get through in terms
So
of how it
we'll
works.
tackle the April 11th work session.
Yeah, if not sooner.
If not sooner.
This is, I think he's gonna be okay with it. I spent a lot more time on it than I had expected to start with, but found from a number of sources a way to make this fairly straightforward. I put an application fee in it, which you have not discussed or authorized, because we're gonna spend administrative time on these, and I thought, well, if you go to Sedgwick County, their application fee and their culvert permit is $2,500.
Jeez.
So I didn't think that was gonna be something that would fly in an ag county, but $25 or $50 for a permit.
Won't cover the cost.
I know, I was gonna say, it won't cover the cost, but it's just,
But that's just the application fee.
Well,
Yeah.
that's-
yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
That's not even the cost of installation.
Sometimes permit fees match, like
Drainage.
electrical permit.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It'll be like 30 grand.
Okay.
Because transfer costs that much.
Sure, okay.
The letter to citizens on the grading, that is ready to go. I ran out, that's where I was at, talking to Bryce for a few minutes about that, and then something else we'll take up in executive. Those NTP transfers, I think we're pretty well finished with that. I just need to hear back from them.
Mhm.
I sent the letter to several people, DJ, and then Jonathan Vasdekas, I think. And I would expect to hear back from them in a day or so, so we should be done with that. Then I need an executive session on potential litigation, 15 minutes. It'll probably take us that long, several items of potential litigation.
All right, I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss potential litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, item 2, consultation with our attorney-client privilege with the commission. Brad, Ashley, would you want to be in on that?
Only if you want me to.
Sure, why not? For 15 minutes, we go in at 2:30, come out at 2:45. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Dalkey, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. We'll be back at 2:45. They don't, I thought it was approved, done, over with.
Yeah, I did too, and then, well, the letter, there's something that they wanted in particular with regard to several of their security holders. And I said, that's fine, I don't have any problem writing that up, it's on my letterhead.
Okay.
So I sent it to those two guys.
Yeah, we are out of executive session, no decisions made. Is there anything else?
That's all I have.
Bring before the commission? Thank you, Brad, we appreciate the updates and covering a number of very important issues today. Public comments? I don't believe there's anyone public in the room. Commission comments? Yes, Commissioner Dalkey.
This is just open comment about, we have 5 commissioners sitting here, and we're all trying to direct ourselves and accomplish things with both the loans that we're looking at for road programs. We're trying to take care of our rock roads and stuff, and we have a lot of great people out there that do help the county, put rock on the roads, they, and stuff. We've tried to put information together how, if you want that, at least contact our road and bridge department, and so that we can work together so everybody knows what's going on if it's a road in front of your house. But lately we've had an individual, and it was in the paper, I think last week, where it graded some rock off the road. I will just say that, I don't think it's fair to us as commissioners trying to do a project and do things without, and where one person can think they can go out and grade it off the road. We will try taking care of this situation and improving this situation, and do our diligent studies on what we can do. So please don't think that the commission is just letting it go at this time. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Yep, well said. Any other comments? If not, our next meeting will be payday on March 31st. That'd be Thursday, 9 o'clock, right? And then regular meeting on April 4th at 12:30.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion from Commissioner Garing to adjourn. Is there a second? Commissioner Dalkey, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Thank you.
Kent, is there anything that you